Happy to say we can speak to Robert Collins, who's a former congressional staffer who served as an assistant to former Senator J. Bennett Johnson. Robert, you're joining us from New Orleans in Louisiana. Thank you so much indeed for your time. You know, the TRT World Newsroom is made up of people from all over the world, so we're discussing what would happen in our countries. In the UK, a ruling party has the ability to make sure that a member of parliament who doesn't agree with the party on such an important issue can be thrown out of the party. Can the Republicans not do that with these 20 rebels?
No, there's no way to throw them out of the party. Once a member of Congress is elected, the only way to remove them from office is to wait 2 years until they stand for election again. And then their own constituents in their districts would have to throw them from office. Now, obviously, if someone did something illegal or something like that, you could remove them from office for that. But politically, there is no way to remove these members from office until 2 years from now, when they stand for election once again.
Do you see these rebels practically holding the Republican Party to ransom? Is there any way they can get their preferred candidate who might be more in line with their ideas of governance?
Well, they have not shown any signs of cracking. They have said that they're going to stand firm. It's not possible for them to get any of the candidates that they put up for election, because Steve Scalise controls 200, 201, 200. I mean, excuse me, because Kevin McCarthy controls over 200 votes. The only hope is that some sort of compromise candidate can be reached. And so the most likely compromise candidate would be Steve Scalise, who is the number 2 Republican in the House. Interestingly enough, I actually live right next to Steve Scalise's district, so he's one of our Louisiana representatives here where I live. And so I think what's going to happen, there's probably going to be another round of voting tomorrow. And then I think members of the Republican leadership are going to have a meeting, and they're probably going to have to say, okay, we're gonna put up a compromise candidate, Steve Scalise, and see if we can get the 20 rebels to come on board, just so they can have a speaker. Because right now, keep in mind, no business can be done. You cannot move any legislation through the U.S. House of Representatives without a speaker. In fact, none of the members of the House that were elected last term have even been sworn in yet. You cannot even swear members in until you have a speaker in place.
Robert, if you don't mind, just briefly, I'd really like to get your thoughts on this. What's more important here? Who becomes the speaker, or whether this is indicative of a fallout that's going to affect the Republican Party in a major, major way?
Well, I think what's more important is the future of the Republican Party. It's not about policy. It's more about personalities. There's going to be a Republican speaker. You're not going to have a Democratic speaker. It's going to be a Republican speaker. And so but at the end of the day, it's up to the Republicans to come together on their choice. Some people have asked me, like I have friends in London that have asked me, okay, well, why can't they do the same as we do here with Parliament? Put together some sort of coalition government where the parties can come together. In the United States, that would be very rare because everything here is so partisan. The Democrats and the Republicans do not really get along enough. I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, if the Democrats wanted to support a more moderate Republican and get some moderate Republican votes to come along with them, it would be possible. But I would say that's highly unlikely. The more likely scenario is that Kevin McCarthy will step down and there will be a compromise candidate.
Interesting. Let's see what happens. Robert, really, thank you so much indeed. Robert Collins, appreciate it.
Thank you.